Hey there folks, welcome to the channel and welcome to Celebrate Sausage. I hope you're having a spectacular day. In today's episode, we are talking Scrapple. Now, Scrapple was originally introduced to the Americas by the Pennsylvania Dutch, but in today's episode, I am very happy to announce my friend and fellow YouTuber McGee Homestead Adventures, as he is what I would consider the resident Scrapple maker. He's got more experience making Scrapple than anyone I know. So I'm going to turn this episode over to Micah as McGee Homestead Adventures shows us how to make this amazing Pennsylvania Dutch sausage, Scrapple.
My name is Micah McGee, and this farm of mine is McGee Homestead Adventures. That is the name of our YouTube channel. Now in today's episode, we're going to be making Scrapple. Scrapple was developed hundreds of years ago by who knows who, but here in America, the Pennsylvania Dutch are the ones that are famous for it and have developed it and have, well, they've given me the recipe that I use and we like it a lot. So I'm going to walk you through this process step by step and show you how easy it is to make Scrapple. So if I could take you back with me in time, 150 years. Money didn't come real easy, and when you slaughtered a farm animal, you needed to use every bit of it that you could possibly use. And back in them days, they had large families to feed, let's face it. So what they learned to do was to take the bones that still had meat on them, the head, the feet, and boil that down until they could get it all off the bone. And you're gonna see a loaf of beautiful Scrapple when we're done. All right, so here's how we make Scrapple. We're gonna start with the bone meat, the head, the ears, the liver, and the heart, etc., etc. You can put in whatever you want. Basically, just whatever you have. This is all about using what we have. So what I have discovered is on these ears, I wanna cut these ears open because when we scald these pigs and scrape them, which, by the way, you need to do in this recipe because the skin is vital in this recipe. That skin turns loose, that outer epidermis turns loose and you scrape it off. But inside that ear, you can't get to it unless you cut it off like this, open that ear up, and then you can easily just remove that skin. So that goes in the pot. We put liver in. Obviously, anything in here is optional. If you hate liver, you won't want to put it in, but I promise you, you can't taste it in the Scrapple. The hearts, we put the hearts in there. And so today we're making a half batch. If you want to see the recipe in great detail, go down in the descriptions of this video and Eric is going to have it in its completion right there. At this point, we're going to light this fire, get this thing going, and cook this meat. All right, you can see right here, this is boiling good. That's what you want, that rolling boil. Every once in a while, you want to check, make sure it's not burning. But at this stage of the game, it's not bad to burn. That happens later on. But as you boil it, as time goes on, you'll notice the water does change. The color changes, it thickens up. And that is the broth that you're getting from the fat, the skin, and the meat, and the bone, which all goes into this product to make it what it is and make it good. Now, I know a lot of you don't have a big old cast iron kettle like what I've got right here. You can cook this in any pot that you have that'll fit it. All right, it is ready to come off the bone. Now, at this point, you're with me. You completely understand. Boil this down till the meat comes off the bone. Anybody can do that. That's easy. And so this next part is just as simple. We're going to strain off the meat. We're going to save our broth separate from the meat. Then we are going to remove the meat from the bones. Any hard cartilage or anything that's not going to actually grind up and work well, separate that out. But if it is something that will work well, that will grind up and will incorporate well into this, keep it, such as pig ears, skin. All this is great for this recipe. When we get done separating it, we're going to put it through a grinder. The grinder we're going to use is just a medium plate, not anything too fine, not anything too coarse. We're going to grind the skin, the ears, the meat, everything that goes back in. The liver, the hearts, all that gets ground. Now at this point, we are measuring our meat. We need 10 quarts. Okay. Now to measure the broth, we need 20 quarts. All right, dump her in. 1 gallon, that's 4 quarts. I need to just jump right in here and interject. A lot of times you don't end up with the proper amount of broth that it calls for. All you have to do is add water to get your liquid level correct. Now let's get this fire lit back and try not to scorch all the hair off our arms. Ooh. Now you know why I don't have no hair. Okay, we followed the half batch recipe, and so in that, we're putting the proper amounts of salt and pepper. You can go and look at the recipe if you want to see exactly how to do it. You might want to do the full batch, or you might want to do the quarter batch, but however you want to do it, suit yourself, just follow that and it's going to come out perfect. So what we're doing right now is stirring it, bringing it to a boil without it burning. That's why we stir. So once it comes to a little bit of a boil, we're going to start adding our cornmeal, our wheat flour, and our buckwheat flour, and that is where you're basically it's crunch time. It's time to get with it and stir it. Now I use a power tool to stir it because when it gets thick, it starts wearing the old arms out. But you can do it by hand if that's all you've got, or you can do it however you want. We're gonna just get with it, stirring this up and getting it to the proper consistency, and then we're gonna taste it, because sometimes you have to add a little salt or add a little pepper. You want to get that added in before it gets too thick, and you can't mix it in. Okay, I think we're done. Okay. We're actually nearly done. Oh, look here, it turned out good. I'll show you why. I'll come over here and I'll show you what I look for. Look at that.
Ooh. Oh, it's clean.
Yes, it came clean.
So
That's
the
what,
pan, when Mike is scooping it out, nothing sticks inside.
and I have had it where it stuck terrible. I love the regular loaf pan size. It's very nice for slicing and frying up. And it's very important to get this done while it's hot, because once it's not hot, it's not going to come out of this pot. All right, folks, this stuff has had time to set up. It's set up perfectly just like it's supposed to. As you can hear, I've got grease over here getting hot. That's one thing about this stuff, is it does well when you fry it in hot grease. Now, I'm using coconut oil, but a lot of times I use bacon grease and it works great. As you see right here, it just comes right out of the pan when you cut it free. And what a beautiful loaf we have here. It's just absolutely gorgeous. To hit your crispiness level that you want, you can slice it whatever thickness you like. I usually go with about 1/4 inch or thereabouts. And I just slice it with a knife, just like this. I want you to look at this. That is just absolutely the perfect. I mean, it's not even trying to come apart. That is the beauty of using that pig head with that skin, those ears, that whole 9 yards. It is absolutely unbelievable how good it is. I recommend frying it in a hot skillet. If you're wondering what kind of a cook stove I'm using, this is a Hecco brand wood cook stove. Just throw you some firewood in, build you a fire, and start cooking. Ow, that's hot. All right, folks, there you go. A beautiful pan of Scrapple. This is the entire loaf, fried to absolute perfection, in my opinion. Let's take a little taste test right quick. Here's our beautiful Scrapple, fried up. You're wanting to know, McGee, what does that taste like? I'm gonna get my old buddy Frank to try a little bit of it, just to have have his opinion on what. It's warm, ain't it? You got the salt and the black pepper flavor. You like that? This here, you can literally eat every day and not get tired of it. I've had everything from ketchup to honey to maple syrup. I tried apple butter on it. It was great. So any direction you want to go with this, you can go, and it will be good. Come over to the channel, McGee Homestead Adventures, if you'd like to see what we're all about. So I'm going to get on out of the way right now and let Eric do the honors.
Now that is some rooter to the tutor eating. That's how you handle a pig right there. Micah told me he could eat this all day long and never get sick of it. If you want to make this delicious scrapple, I'm going to put a recipe link in the description box below. We want to thank Micah for helping us out with this episode. Be sure to check out his YouTube channel, McGee Homestead Adventures. While you're there, subscribe to his channel and let him know Two Guys in a Cooler sent you. You're going to love his fresh approach to homesteading. If you're new to this channel, take a moment and click that subscribe button and that notification bell, because you caught us in the middle of a month-long series where we're giving you a daily sausage making recipe through the entire month of October. I don't want you to miss a single episode. Thanks a lot for being here. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.